is from the book of Luke, the gospel reading. Someone in the crowd said to Jesus, "Teacher, tell my brother to divide the family inheritance with me." But Jesus said to him, "Friend, who set me to be a judge or arbiter over you?" And he said to them, "Take care. Be on your guard against all kinds of greed, for one's life does not consist in the abundance of possessions." Then he told them a parable. The land of a rich man produced abundantly, and this man thought to himself, "What should I do? For I have no place to store my crops." And then he said, "I will do this. I will pull down my barns and build larger ones, and there I will store all my grain and all my goods. And I will say to my soul, 'Soul, you have ample goods laid up for many years. Relax, eat, drink, be merry.' God said to him, 'You fool! This very night, your life is being demanded of you. And the things you have prepared, whose will they be?' So it is with those who store up treasures for themselves, but are not rich toward God." Well, guests, we are in the summertime very much into speaking to one another in our sermons today. So I'm going to offer some words, and then maybe you have a bit of wisdom to share and pray yourself. So, as you can see up here on the altar, I hope you can see, I have 4 items. This is not Let's Make a Deal or whatever the show used to be. There are no curtains, but we have 4 items in boxes, and you do not get to bid on them. And I'm not sure whether or not you are going to give them away. So, I start with the smallest one. A box. Obviously, a box is what happens. What do you do with a box? You open it. Yeah, you open it. But why? What's inside? So you put something in a box, right? All right. So here's a box. There's an earring in it. Okay. Nice little piece of valuable something or other, right? All right. So here's a box. It's a tiny little box. I put an earring in, or an earring came in it, and it's something that, actually I don't have my earring in today. I could take it out, put it on. I have this box, so I could put a little bit more in there, couldn't I? Right? Because an earring is a tiny little thing right there. You could put a lot more in there. Wow, wouldn't that be nice? But you know what? Strangely enough, I have more stuff that can fit in this box. How about this box? Yeah, no shoes. How wonderful. There's nothing in this box. Guess what? I can put stuff in this box. And you know what? I got plenty of stuff to put in this box. I love it. Here, hold my box for a second, okay? Just in case I need that. All right? If you have to put your stuff in there, you can. All right? Yeah, see, there you go. A cup of coffee and put it in the box. But I have 2 more boxes up here. All right. So that box, here's a little box. Another fortunate thing, I have an empty box. And you know what? I even have more stuff. I can fill up that little box with stuff. I can fill this shoebox up with stuff. I can fill this box up with stuff. Hot dog. Not so heavy. It says heavy. It says heavy right there. It was heavy. But I can fill up this box too with stuff. I got all kinds of stuff to put in it. And probably much that my wife wants me to get rid of and throw away. So I got stuff. So today's scripture has told us that this fellow was thinking to himself. He wasn't talking to anybody else. He was talking to himself. And he said, "Soul, I can put all my stuff. I got so much stuff, I got to build a bigger place to put it. All right. I'm going to ask you a question. How's your stuff? Always too much. I guess California says always too much stuff. So how's your stuff? Do you have a big enough place to keep all your stuff? Yes? No? Bill, you don't throw things away, Bill. Yes, you will now. All right, so here we have the story of this fellow who, it's a parable. It's not really a real person, but I think we can all relate to this fellow, right? And it's something that we all sort of aspire to be, a person to be like. Because this guy apparently is very successful. It says his fields he reaped abundantly from his fields. And so he had some silos to put his grain. He had some barns to put his stuff. But he had more stuff. And so he had to build bigger places to put all his stuff. And then finally, do you remember what he said to himself? Finally, what happened? I can relax. I got so much stuff, finally, that I can relax. I can eat, drink, and be merry. What happened next? God said, I'm demanding your life of you today. You're not going to be able to enjoy your stuff anymore. So, it said something in there. It suggested to us. So I'm going to ask you, though, what would you suggest of this story? What might be the moral of this story about saving up stuff and then finding out that today my life is ending? David, what do you think?
He was a hoarder.
What was that?
He was a hoarder.
He was a hoarder. Good.
That's too much stuff.
Too much stuff. Chris?
Too much is not good, too little is not good, right in the middle.
Right in the middle, huh? Right in the middle. Where's our middle?
Everybody's middle's different.
He could have shared it.
That's right.
Right. That was a good one. He already had a pretty big barn. He could have, instead of having to build another one,
He should have sold some stuff, too.
he could have sold some stuff.
Exactly.
And shared some stuff.
It wound up being useless.
It wound up being useless. How so? What do you think?
Because he wasn't going to use it to enjoy it.
Right. So it was useless to him at this point because he no longer could use it. Was it useless, though, inherently? Was the stuff?
It wasn't useless. You can give here to the church for the sales on Saturday.
Thank you. The stewardship message for this year has been given. Thank you very much. So we see that the stuff that we have, the stores that we have, the goods that we produce, we can keep saving them and saving them and saving them. Yes, sir.
What you focus on worldly goods, the poor around you, God, if your focus is on accumulating stuff, your mind is going to be closed to everything around you.
That's right.
Interesting. Interesting. So our mind can close to those things and those people around us because we're focused on our stuff. Right? So it doesn't matter if it's a little bit here, the little tiny box, or if we go to the big box, or if we go to a space like this and we pile it high with our stuff. Inherently, it does not lose its value, right? But to us, it may not be of any value if we just hold on to it, because we never know when our last day is. Yes, David?
You came into the world with nothing, and you go out of the world with nothing. So I don't care what you're on.
I think I'm just going to have to drop the mic right
That's
there.
right.
All right? You come into the world with nothing, you leave the world.
That's right.
But do we live our daily lives with that attitude?
No, you don't.
Yes, sir. In fact, Chris?
I think if you have too much, even like if it's money, you get an attitude that you're better than everyone else.
Can't
You're
take that
not.
either.
I had a former relative that he thought he was better than everyone else, lived with my sister in Mexico, and didn't speak any Spanish, he was better than even them, and then he died.
Mm-hmm.
And alcohol, I mean, people are not better than anyone else in this world.
That's right.
You know, the interesting thing about that is that we can say that, we can suggest that maybe somebody over there, whoever that person might be, well, golly gee whiz, they feel that they're much better than everyone else because they have so much. But let's reverse that, though. How do you feel, or how did you feel, or how have you felt when you've had nothing? Or how can people feel?
Well, from experience of not having cable TV, pretty much ridiculed in elementary school, so
Oh, interesting.
it's like also a, well, I think some of it goes into adult years from children's years, but a lot of it is a popularity contest to see how much you have, or how many of the new hot video games you have, for example, with my generation especially, and I don't think and since we're so attached to the materialistic side of things.
Okay. It's interesting how we seem in human nature to have this great desire to catch up or to work hard to get the things, the stuff. There's a great tendency to do that. Isn't it interesting that we don't see a great race or a pressure or societal pressure to give away more so that we are not encumbered by so much? Does it shock you, to make any sense to you that we don't do that? Or does it just make sense that we are driven to get and to hold on to?
I have found a good solution.
A good solution. Give it to me.
Habitat for Humanity Restore. And I go to my basement and I'm working on myself on that machine 15 years and it's a job. It's also been done for 15 years. I was still so now I can take that and look at it. And now I can smell the life.
So we can look at the things that maybe we have purchased that we use one time and we keep it just in case. Or we can find a way to try to give it away or find a good owner, someone who's going to use it and need it. So with that in mind, with all of your wonderful suggestions, the things that you have thought about, the things that we have heard, the examples that we have given, and some of the impressions that we have offered to one another, why don't we start thinking about that a little bit more in our lives? How much do I have stored up? Now, I do appeal to you. I'm going to make a bald-faced appeal. This place right here can do a lot of good.
That's right.
Don't ever think that you've given too much, okay? I'm not afraid to do that. Sometimes people say, we can't ask too much, right? I'm not afraid to do that. I'm saying, you might even be surprised if you look at the list and how little people have given. I'm not saying you haven't given elsewhere, but I do know, I pray, that we trust one another here to be good stewards of those things that you offer to the church. And that the church, I pray, doesn't hoard also. So this is who we are. We are the church. We are Christ's church. Christ has told us, do not save things up in a way that all of a sudden, when the time comes, the end comes, that then we can no longer be of good service by using those items. So, my friends, I pray that we as individuals and we as a community can be more gracious, more generous, more giving, that our fruitful laborers will pay off in ways that serve others, help others, and bring peace to the world in ways that maybe we'll never even be able to see, but in ways we know and we entrust to God that things will change because we have given. Would you please then turn on the back of your bulletin